What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? It's me, man, your big partner, Cartoon One, the Village Storyteller. And I'm back for part two, man. I'm back for part two. For part two of Let the Hunt Begin. Yeah. So, without no further ado, hopefully we don't have to go into a part three. You never know. Let's get right back to the story, y'all. Y'all know where I left off at. They pulled up in the heavy tracker and they got out and it was time to go hunting. Don't forget to hit that like. Y'all know what's happening. But anyway, as they pile out the heavy tracker with all their gear and all their equipment, it's hot, but the jungle is real dense and thick. You can barely see through it. Man, I'm talking about you can't see the jungle for the trees. Whew, real thick. So they've been in areas like this before, and they know how it go. They know how it go. So now here it is. They take off. They take off. They take off. So Sarge tells sound check. He calls him over. He said, "Listen, sound check. You're gonna be able to hear. You're gonna be able to hear anything before it gets near us." He say, "Any type weird noises, weird sounds that you hear, let us know. Let us know. Put us on point." So sound check tells him, "Got you, Sarge. I'm on it. I'm finna tune out every regular sound and try to key in on any abnormal sounds." So Sarge tells him, "Okay, bet. That's a bet." He tells Lights Out. He tells Lights Out. He say, "Listen, when it starts getting dark, do your thing. We need to see anything coming at us before it gets to us." So Lights Out looks around. He say, "Shoot, once we go deep enough into this jungle, we don't have to wait till night. It's gonna be pitch black in there." He said, "Well, do your thing." He said, "I got you, Sarge. If I see it, I'm gonna shoot first and holler second." He say, "No, holler, let us know, and then shoot so we can all shoot in the direction you shoot." Check. So they go in. They go in. They go in. Sound check got the point since he has the exceptional hearing. So boom, successfully they make it to the first watering hole. They make it to the first watering hole. Um, it was like in a small cave entrance, but and they went in there and they found it. It was like a shimmering pool of some blue thick liquid. They immediately destroyed it. They contaminated it with some stuff that they poured into it, and then they set it on fire. They squoze stuff, inflammatory stuff in it. Woof, set it on fire, and it burned quick, and it burned out. And they shoveled dust and dirt into it to make sure nothing else would bubble up. They didn't know what the substance was. They didn't know where the substance came from. What they did know is, okay, that this thing is living off of it and it gives it power. So most likely it set it up at different checkpoints. So no, it never had to go too far and not be near a watering hole. So they went on to the next one and they destroyed it. Nighttime was coming by this time because they were kind of spread out. Nighttime was falling. And right as it got dark, they ran across the third one. And in the midst of destroying it, sound check say, "Ch-ch-ch, ho." He starts looking around. He circles his hand like this here. The whole team, they knew their routine. They were bad. They all, boom, 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 boom. They circled around and was coming up with their weapons. So sound check was right next to Sarge, and Sarge said, "What is it? What is it?" He said, "Man, I'm picking up a noise that's not a regular jungle noise." See, now once sound check gets in the jungle and he takes in all the noises, he can start compartmentalize them to where he knows what is what and what is what. But the noise he say he's picking up now is not a regular noise. And the sergeant, "What is it?" He said, "It's like heavy footfalls." Heavy footfalls. He said, "It's not no tiger or anything." He said, "No, no, 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 no." He said, if a tiger footfall made this noise, he say it'd be in the Guinness Book of World Records. So Sarge tell him, "Okay, get ready." And so, boom, they looking and they listening. They can't hear nothing. Because whatever's making this foot noise, this footfall noise, is at a distance. But sound check can hear it. So sound check tell me, he said, whatever it is coming toward us. Whatever it is coming toward us. He says, oh, shoot. Whatever it is running toward us now. So Sarge asked him, in what direction? He say, in that direction. So they beaming down on it. So now it's to the point to where even the rest of them can hear trees breaking and snapping. And they hear a horrendous, like yell, like a howling yell, like, man, what is this? And so right as it seemed like something was finna bust through the trees, Brick House cut loose with that M50 he was carrying. Doom, 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 doom. And boom, whatever it was coming from this direction, it veered and started circling them. And and Brick House is going in a circle with it. The rest of the group is firing too. Doom, bow, bow. All of them have different assorted weapons. Bow, 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 bow. And whatever it is, it's circling them real fast. It's running at a high rate of speed, but they can't see what it is. They can't see what it is. And then the sound starts leaving away to where they can't hear nothing no more. But Sarge tells, my bad. Anyway, but I was trying to hear something. But anyway, so Sarge tells sound check. What is it? He said it's leaving. He said I can still hear it, but it's leaving away from us. And so now they like, okay, it knows we're here. It knows we're here. You say, look, let's hurry and get to the next one. He's like, man, we need rest. He like, man, we're not finna rest here where we just had an encounter with whatever this is. He said, let's get a little distance between this spot and boom. So they went a little further. Then they found a good defensible position and they made camp. They don't make camp with lights and all that. They ate cold meals that night. You know what I'm saying? They didn't make no fire, make none of that, because now they know it's on. It's on. But now they weren't really worried about it because they had their potter with them. So he told me, like, look, you go, you listen, and you listen. You listen. So he puts sound check and lights out. He puts sound check and lights out on the perimeter. They say ain't nothing gonna sneak up on you in the dark that lights out can't see, and ain't nothing gonna sneak up on you in the dark that sound check can't hear coming. And so boom, they was out there. They was out there. After so many hours, they switched up, boom, they switched up till morning came. So sound check goes and they tell Sarge, he say, Sarge, whatever it is stalking us. He like, what? He said, yeah, I heard it, but I heard it at a real far distance. It ain't coming near us, but it's shadowing us. Sarge like, okay. So they went and they found another watering hole. This made 3. From what the paper said, they had 5 more to destroy. They were so far out in the woods now that, man, it would take a miracle to get back, but they would be able to find their way back. As they were going toward the 4th hole, the watering hole, sound check said, he said, I hear it coming. I can hear it coming. So everybody prepared. They were passing by some rocks, up on the rocks. And at the top of the rocks was some trees. The rocks were about 12 feet up in the air. It was some trees. And all of a sudden, one of the trees just bursted out the ground. Boom! And went flying toward the group. The group got out the way. And when they hit the ground, when they looked up, what they seen, they didn't know what it was. It looked like a cross between a silverback gorilla and a prehistoric mastodon. Not a mastodon, but what was the elephant thing with the tusk? with the long tusk. What was the name of that? What was the name of it? What was the name of it? A woolly mammoth. It looked like a cross between a woolly mammoth and a giant silverback gorilla with pitch black eyes, teeth, but the hands had long sickle-shaped claws. The claws coming off of it was at least a foot long, and it stinked. And it was able to move at a high rate of speed. And when they seen it, when they come up to bust at it, it leaped. And when it leaped in the midst of them and went to swinging. Boom, boom. Everybody was getting out the way, but it only landed once. It swiped once, wow, and leaped again and was gone. Hit once and was gone. So they shooting in the direction that it went. So it was gone. So now here it is. They went to looking around after it left, making sure everybody was okay. They like, everybody okay? Everybody okay? Everybody wasn't okay. When they looked, heavy metal was on the ground. They like, man, heavy metal, are you all right? When they ran to heavy metal's whole head was missing. It wasn't nothing. He was laying in a pool of blood coming out the top of a stalk because the head was gone. They were seasoned vets, though. They were like, okay. They buried heavy metal and they kept moving. They made it to the next watering hole and the next. One thing they knew that as they started destroying these watering holes, that this thing was going to get more aggressive. It was going to get more aggressive. And so what they decided they wanted to do, they wanted to track it. And that's what they started doing. They put Hound Dog to work. Because now that Hound Dog had seen it, smelled it, and got a bead on it, it was going to be hard pressed. And so now they went on the hunt. They was mad about their partner. They was mad about heavy metal. As they tracked it, it knew it was being tracked. They own him. But tracking it was dangerous because it tried to attack, and they was just going at it out here in these jungles. They could never really get a good bead on it though. So now, just so happened the direction they was tracking it in was where the next watering hole was. That's what it was doing. It was staying near its watering holes so that it could take in the energy that it needed to sustain it in a fight against these dudes. So anyway, they made it to the next watering hole, which was the sixth one. They destroyed it. Way out. They heard the beast holler. They was like, yeah. So Sarge told me, he said, it knows what we're doing. It's intelligent. It knows what we're doing. And it's going to try to stop us. And that night they came up under attack again. This time it made a full frontal assault instead of a dashing and attacking. It made a full frontal assault and just came barreling into the clearing that they were in. And they were shooting at it. And where they was hitting it before, and it seemed like it didn't hurt. Now it seemed like the bullets was kind of getting in some. It seemed like it was hurting it a little bit. But the thing was swiping and boom, boom. When it left this time, it had killed Soft Touch. She didn't stand a chance. One swipe, cut her clean in half. She was hurt. Airwave was hurt. The radio equipment was smashed. They knew they was in for a prolonged fight with this thing. So they start heading toward the seventh hole, watering hole. When they got to the seventh watering hole, it met them there. It was their breathing. It was their breathing, but it was making it. It was kind of crawling, making its way to the watering hole. Sarge wanted to hit it before it got its strength. He like, hit it now. Doom. They start giving it all they can give it, especially Brickhouse. He wasn't playing with it. He was hitting it with some bullets long as a cell phone. Boom, 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 boom. So they put down a heavy line of fire between it and that next watering hole to where it had to run off into the bushes, had to run off into the jungle. They destroyed that watering hole. They started heading toward the 8th watering hole. Now, out of all this, at least a week has passed. They've been out here for about 8 or 9 days. They've been out here fighting this thing and trying to get to these water holes because these water holes are spread out. So the 8th one, right before they get to it, it put up a heck of a fight. It put up a heck of a fight, and they went at it. They went at it, man. They was hitting it, shooting it, but the thing that had messed up was it had got a hold to some of the juice before they got there to destroy it. That's why it put up such a fight. Sarge was wounded. Brickhouse was wounded. Boom Boom was killed. So now, out of all the members that came, the only ones that was left alive was Sarge, and he was wounded. Hound Dog the Tracker, Silent Night, AT&T, and Sound Check. They destroyed the 8th hole. They said, look, we need to go on a hunt now and destroy it. It don't have nothing else to drink from. We can destroy it now. So now they went on the hunt. They went on the hunt. They figured, wasn't no more holes. They can destroy it now. So it's on. They could tell that the thing was leading them further out into the jungle. They was already so far out there they didn't know where they was no more. They had been going through the jungle almost 2 weeks now, fighting with this thing. But now after they destroyed the 8th hole, they figure they can get the upper hands on it. They just wait till it get weak, and they'd ambush it and destroy it. The second night that they was out there, the few of them that was left, they heard a loud scream. And they all looked at each other. They had been out here in this jungle fighting with this thing long enough to know that's the sound it makes when it's rebuilding its energy. When it's drinking from one of them blue silvery water holes and replenishing its strength, they know that's the sound it makes when it's finished. And they also know that if it's another watering hole out here that they didn't know about. And if this thing is fully replenished, which it is now, they in trouble. They ammunition low. Some of them dead. Some of them wounded. Sarge said, look, that's bad news right here. Let's get out of here. We better make it. If we don't try to get out of here now, we not going to make it out, period. So they start trying to run. Like I say, now, they almost 2 weeks into this jungle. But now, they know they got to try to go. They know it's gonna be a task, but they can run. But now they know they ain't finna just run out of there like that. But they want to get as far away from that sound as they can. They had been running for about an hour, and they heard the noise again. Sarge looked over at one of his men. He like, man, and he told him. He said, "The hunt has began." What? He said, "We are no longer the hunters. We are now the hunted." What? And they tried to run more. About 3 weeks went by. About 3 weeks went by, and some big helicopters landed in the village. Big helicopters landed in the village, and special op teams start getting off the helicopter. And one of the special op teams, he went to the village elder, Oof, and he told him, I'm Sergeant Sincere. He said, can you give me an update on everything that's transpired? The village elder, Oof, looked at him. He said, well, the first thing I can tell you, the last group that came in, none of them have ever returned. Sincere just looked at him. Much respect to the night watch. They are no longer. That's me, y'all, man. That's story. That's your story time, y'all. That's it, man. That's me, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that one, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. But in the meantime, in between time, man, it's me, Cartoon One, the village storyteller. I represent the gangsters, homie. Peace. I'm out.